back to the channel. I'm Mike, living with 3M, star of the show. This is Zeus, my 2018 lifted Indoraptor. And if you guys own an EcoBoost, you have got to watch this video, I'm telling you. All right, so the reason I'm making this video, I made a YouTube short a while back, months ago, and it was involving the woes with the 3.5 EcoBoost, the Rattles, mainly. The Rattles will drive you insane. I came from a 2016 5.0, no issues, no check engine lights. So I want to tell you right now, if you've got an EcoBoost or you're planning on getting an EcoBoost, like the Raptors, Gen 2s, or just any of the Ford F-150s with the EcoBoost or Explorers, I'm telling you right now, you better do some research. All right, so let me get started in this video by saying that I'm not hating on the EcoBoost at all. I love my truck, but when I bought it, I've had it almost a year now, not quite, but like I said, I got rid of my 5.0 2016 with around 50,000 miles, no issues ever. I'm gonna go over some of the sounds that you may be having and you're not sure, is it this, is it that? I'm gonna tell you exactly how to fix these rattles in the EcoBoost. One in particular is kind of expensive if you don't have a warranty. All right, the first rattle is one of the easiest to fix. All right, and it comes from, you listen, and it can come from either wheel well on each side. Say if you pull up through a drive-through, sound bounces off the wall and you hear a loud ticking noise that's pretty much constant. It's not just when you start the car or the truck. It's not just when, you know, reaches a certain RPM. It's a constant chattering, and then as you hit the gas or let off the gas, it gets worse. So we're going to talk about that one first. Okay, so as you can tell, my truck is running and all seems to be quiet. It's got a little tick tick tick, but that's the normal engine. If you have a rattle on these EcoBoost, you will sure know it. All right, so the first rattle, like I said, you hear it through the wheel well. That's why I'm focusing right here, because your turbos are on each side. So each wheel well in the front, your turbo wastegates will rattle. Little wastegate on there that opens and closes and it rattles. All right, so how did I fix that? Let me get in here and show you guys. Do you see the spring? There's the spring right in the middle. All right, so I went to Lowe's and I got a pair of these springs. All right, so a pair of them, and it just puts a little bit of tension on that wastegate. I think it's called wastegate. Yeah, it's called wastegate. So puts a little bit of tension on that because there's a little slop in there from the factory if you don't have rebuilt turbos. So mine is a 2018 factory, never been modded to the engine or the turbos. So I'll put a link in the description below where you can pick up those springs, because they have to be a certain size. It can't just be any spring. Can't be something off your storm door or kitchen somewhere out of the drawer somewhere. You got to make sure it's the right one that was told to me. I can't take credit for it. Somebody told me about it, and man, stopped rattle number one. Got my Raptor that was just cleaned up. Bird just flew over it and shit. All right, rattle number two. But you've got number one fixed. No more rattle from the turbos, but all of a sudden you're going down the road, you make a turn left or right, sometimes straight, you hear a rattle, and it doesn't sound like anything from this earth. I mean, it sounds like marbles. Just, it's terrible. I mean, I can't explain it. It's a terrible sound that you think your dang motor's gonna fall out in the middle of the road. That's how bad it is. And it's actually nothing to do with the engine. And it comes and goes. It'll start intermittently, just coming and going. What it is the IWEs on the four-wheel drive. So you will experience that on 5.0s, EcoBoost, as long as it's a four-wheel drive. The IWE is the culprit. The factory ones, you can replace them, and there's several pieces to that. Each wheel in the front, so a pair of IWEs, it's vacuum operated. So up under the hood, there's a solenoid and vacuum lines that when you put it into four-wheel, two-wheel, four-wheel low, stuff like that, it will activate, pop in and out to put you into four-wheel drive. Not like the old trucks. You remember the 78 Ford F-150s back in the day, you had to lock the hubs in. They were pretty bad, I'm telling you. That was awesome, man, because you knew that thing was in four-wheel drive. But these have an issue with IWE. Some guys do an IWE delete and they just leave it in four-wheel low. If you don't daily drive on the interstate and you're not really worried about a mile per gallon or two, then, you know, a lot of trucks and cars or SUVs are all-wheel drive all the time, real-time four-wheel drive. So basically you're just doing away with the two-wheel drive, which seems to be the only time this thing gives noises. You got that? It only has these dreadful noises in two-wheel drive. I've been going and have that issue and turn around and pop that switch into four-wheel high. As soon as it starts making that gravelly type engine falling out noise, clears it right up. Right there is your IWE. You see it? All right, so you may or may not have to change those. So I'm gonna tell you, first thing I would change or update before I did anything is this right here. There is your vacuum line going to the engine. Right here is your IWE solenoid. There's your electrical connection and your vacuum lines. And you want to make sure you have the blue, which is the updated one. If you've got a gray or silver or clear little vacuum tee right here, then that's the old setup, then chances are that's where your problem's at. So the blue is the new updated one. I would start there first and replace this and this. This pops on and off, I think, yeah, like that. It's just in this little clip. Now watch me not be able to get it back. Okay, all right, so you want to replace this. Check your vacuum lines for any leaks also, I'm just saying. Number 3 is actually crazy. I could not get this through my brain that at the time, 48,000 miles on my Raptor, I hear this noise. It sounds like marbles in a can intermittently, so I didn't know if it's the IWEs or not, but it turned out it wasn't. Turned out, check engine light pops on. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. PO 420 or 402, 420. Well, regardless, catalyst issue. So catalytic converter was absolutely destroyed. The bricks inside the converter were rattling around and it was just terrible. So Ford quality or whoever's quality on catalytic converters is terrible. I'm just letting you guys know, so be ready to replace catalytic converter. Back in the day, I've had race cars. I mean, to get a converter to fail, you basically had to just pour leaded gas in it or beat it out with a hammer and a screwdriver if you wanted straight pipes. Now, you buy them, drive them off the lot, and the dang converters fail. So what's that say about today's quality of things? I'm just saying. All right, guys, you probably hear my AC blowing. It's 1,010 degrees outside in North Carolina. It's August and it's like 40 hells. So, all right, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the final rattle that you can't just fix on your own unless you're a mechanic. And this rattle is the one that's concerning the most. And if you know, it's normally when you start up, cold start, and you hear the rattle up front in the engine. After a couple seconds, it goes away. Shut the car off, the truck off, start it back up. After a while, does it again. Sometimes it lasts longer, sometimes it's really fast. For me, I had just bought the truck, and the gentleman that I bought it from said that he was not aware of any noises. So I bought it from him, private sale. Thank God I had the warranty still existing on the engine by like a year and a half. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys, and you already know what I'm talking about, the dreaded cam phasers. All right, so these cam phasers are what drives the cams, and there's tons of videos on there explaining what they do, and the oil does not get up in there, it leaks down, whatever. They rattle like hell. I mean, it's just terrible. And it gets worse and worse. And I came out about 2 weeks after I bought my truck and cranked this thing up on a cold morning. Bought it in December, so I bought it in cool weather. Cranked this thing up, and my son come out of the house and he was like, "Dad, what in the world?" They could hear it rattling from in the house. And me being me, I'm like, "Oh, that's the EcoBoost. It's supposed to rattle like a diesel." No, it's not supposed to rattle. And you hear it now, or you don't hear it. My truck's been, the entire video, my truck has been running. Let's see if you can hear me. Hear me hit the gas. Quiet as a mouse right now. Just saying. So do your research on cam phasers. Before you purchase something, make sure you got a warranty. All right? Is this gonna be my daily driver? Am I gonna put a lot of miles on this? You know, do it in your head. Think about what you're going for in this. And I'm sorry to say, guys, I love my Raptor, but I miss my 5.0 for that reason, that there were no issues that I had. And that's just personal perspective. You may have had a 5.0 that gave you issues from the day you bought it. And I think we all do. We all buy lemons, regardless make or model. But I'm just saying, you know, the 5.0 never gave me any issues, so I got much love for that. But my EcoBoost is a lot faster. This thing here is incredible. Never thought I'd say that from a V6. And here comes the police or the fire or something. We'll go right through them, man. Not even worried about them. All right, so that is the third rattle and the most important rattle. IWEs, you know, you can go a ways with that. Like I said, unplug the solenoid up front. Keep it every time you get in the truck, put it in 4-wheel high on the dash. If you don't want to mess with it right now, there's ways around. There's no way around the catalytic converter failing. You have to have that, and there's no way around the cam phasers. When you do go with the new cam phasers, make sure the dealer puts the part number. I think it's got an M on it. That's the new updated, upgraded cam phasers. So the old ones would fail. I'm just saying. So I know I'm doing a lot of talking in this video, guys, versus showing the truck off, but I'm really trying to get the point across about the EcoBoost rattles. So make sure that part number has an M in it, and talk to your dealer, express your concerns while the warranty's there. They may say, "Oh, it's supposed to sound that way." No, it's not. Find another dealer if they don't want to mess with your stuff. And once they do complete the cam phaser job, make sure that you have no oil leaks, because I had a valve cover gasket that failed. Probably they pinched it or something. Who knows? But I had no leaks before they messed with it. Just saying, guys, go through everything. Make sure that if you own the EcoBoost, you take care of the EcoBoost and it'll take care of you. Yeah, man, headed down the street. Not a sound out of the ordinary at all. I love the turbo sound. Ever so often you can hear the whoosh of the turbo. See, make turns. So if anybody tells you the Rattle is normal, it's not. I had them. I had various Rattles. Now I do not. All right, if y'all have not subscribed to the channel, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Man, I've got a lot of videos on this truck, my 5.0, lots of other trucks and cars too. So y'all head on over to my page, check it out, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Later.